ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेषुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजता दधोक्षजय आवेश्यतां नो। आप सभी का स्वागत है आज के इस
We welcome all of you to today's class. We are studying Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, verse number 9.
तो पिछले प्रवचन में हमने सुना,
In the previous class, we heard
कहते हैं कि कर्म
that Bhagavan speaks that performing karma
आवश्यक है,
is essential.
प्रत्येक व्यक्ति को नियत रूप से कर्म करना चाहिए।
Every person should perform his prescribed duty.
करने से श्रेष्ठ है, क्योंकि अगर कर्म नहीं करेंगे तो हमारे जीवन की यात्रा भी
If we do not perform karma, we cannot even sustain our livelihood.
ये भगवान का एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण निर्देश
This is a very important instruction or teaching by Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita for us, for society, for entire humanity, that karma should be performed and it should be niyata. Niyata means which is
शास्त्र
prescribed
के द्वारा जिसका विधान
according to
किया गया।
Shastra.
इसका मतलब हम ऐसा कर्म ना करें
It means we should not perform such karma
हमारे लिए स्वयं
which
के लिए
is
हानिकारक हो, समाज के लिए
destructive for us, for
हमारे
society,
वातावरण के लिए
for the
हानिकारक,
environment,
क्योंकि शास्त्र जो हमको उपदेश देता
because the
है वो हमारी
teachings
भलाई के लिए,
imparted by
हमारे भले
Shastra
के लिए ही देता है,
are for our own benefit.
और उसमें केवल एक व्यक्ति का ही कल्याण या एक किसी समाज विशेष का ही कल्याण नहीं है, लेकिन
The
पूरी
teachings of Shastra are beneficial not just to one section of society, but for the entire humanity,
निहित है।
for
यही शास्त्र
entire
का
nature.
उपदेश है और यही शास्त्र का महत्व
This
है,
is the importance of Shastra,
क्योंकि हम जब पैदा
because
होते हैं तो
when we are born,
अज्ञान में ही पैदा होते
we
हैं,
are born with
हमको नहीं पता होता है
ignorance.
कि संसार में हमको कैसे रहना है,
We do not know how
इसलिए
to
हम अपनी
live in
बुद्धि
this
से इसको
world,
नहीं समझ सकते हैं।
and we cannot understand this by our own
किसी भी
intelligence.
व्यक्ति में इतनी बुद्धि नहीं है
And no
कि वो
person has
संसार को समझ
so
सके
much intelligence so
और
as to
संसार को जी
understand
सके।
this world and to understand how to
इसलिए
live in this world,
हमको किस प्रकार से व्यवहार करना है, तो ये
how to deal in this
नहीं
world.
चल सकता है अपने आप से,
We cannot understand this on our
क्योंकि
own
हमारी बुद्धि बहुत सीमित है।
because our intelligence is very limited.
इसलिए भगवान
That is why
स्वयं हमको इसका
Bhagavan
उपदेश देते हैं
himself teaches
कि
us
आप किस तरह से
that
अपना जीवन जिएं।
how we should live.
तो उसमें क्योंकि हमारे अंदर कर्मेंद्रियां हैं और
So
ज्ञानेंद्रियां
because
हैं,
we have the senses to
तो हम
perform
कर्म
action
करेंगे
and to acquire knowledge,
और हमको ज्ञान प्राप्त
so
होगा।
if we perform
आप यहाँ
karma
बैठे हुए
and
हैं
we
तो
get
करके तो आप
knowledge, like if you are
कुछ
sitting
ज्ञान
here,
प्राप्त कर ही रहे हैं,
so you
वो
are
आपके अंदर
you are
ज्ञान
getting
है,
something through your
और
senses.
उसके
It is going inside you,
कुछ प्रतिक्रिया होगी।
and then there
अब
will be
कैसे
some
करना है
reaction.
कैसे नहीं करना है, किस तरह से हमको अपना
So what
जीवन
to do,
जीना है, ये
what
सब
not to
शास्त्र
do,
हमको सिखाता
how
है।
to utilize our senses,
ये
all this
बहुत
is
कठिन
taught to us
काम
by
है
Shastra.
और
And
इसको
this is not
समझना
very
भी जरूरी
difficult,
है।
and it is for
आजकल
our own benefit.
आजकल ये कहते हैं कि हम शास्त्र की बात
Nowadays,
क्यों माने।
people say that why should we listen to
ये
Shastra?
सामान्य प्रश्न लोगों के मन
This is
में
a
आता
very
है कि
common
हम क्यों
question
माने शास्त्र की बात को,
arising in people's
शास्त्र की
minds,
बात
that
मानने
why
से
should
हमको क्या
we
लाभ होगा,
hear Shastra? What is the
कुछ नहीं
benefit
होगा।
that we will derive by
लेकिन
following
वास्तविकता ऐसा
Shastra?
है नहीं,
Because we
जैसा
are
हम कहते हैं कि
independent.
अज्ञान में पैदा होते
But
हैं
that is not the truth. As I
और
said,
ऐसा
we are
नहीं है
born
कि
in
जिसका हम
ignorance,
कोई
and out of ignorance, we can speak anything, but that does
अगर
not
हम
mean it becomes the reality.
थोड़े शांत मन से
If with a calm mind
विचार
we
इसके ध्यान से
analyze
विचार करें तो हमको पता चलेगा कि
with our
वास्तविकता ऐसा कुछ
intelligence,
नहीं है।
then we will understand that we are actually
इसमें
not
तो केवल ये लिखा
independent.
है कि हम
As I have told
सांस
earlier
लेने तक के
also,
जीवित हैं,
that we are
तो अगर हमको
uh,
सांस नहीं आएगा तो
we
हमको
depend on breath.
स्वतंत्रता कहाँ
If
रहेगी
we do not get
और इस
breath,
शरीर के ऊपर हमारा
then how
कंट्रोल
can
नहीं है।
we say we are
तो
independent?
इसलिए जो लोग
What
ऐसा
control do
सोचते
we
हैं
have on our
वो
body?
अज्ञान में ही
So
सोचते
those
हैं।
who think like this, they actually are in ignorance.
और फिर जब लोग आध्यात्मिक मार्ग में आते हैं
When people come to the
तो वो भी
spiritual
ठीक से
path,
समझते नहीं है,
then that they don't understand the
इस बात को,
spiritual path also properly.
क्योंकि हमारे
Even
अंदर
then they do not
सबसे बड़ी
understand clearly
कमजोरी
that
यही
we
है
are not
कि
independent,
हम
because we have this
अपने
inborn nature that
हाँ,
we want to live in
किसी से
happiness.
सीखना नहीं
We do
पड़ता,
not want suffering. We do not
स्वाभाविक
have
है
to learn this from
कि हमारी
anybody.
जो आत्मा है वो
It is
दुख
our
भावी
nature,
है।
because Atma is in Dukkha
क्या
Bhav.
मतलब दुखा भावी होता,
Moksha means Dukkha Bhav.
न्याय में इसका बहुत विस्तार से प्रतिपादन है।
This is explained in
तो
detail in Nyaya.
इसलिए हम दुख नहीं चाहते हैं,
That is why
सुख
we
चाहते
do
हैं।
not want Dukkha. We do not want
और
suffering. We
क्या
want
करना है,
Sukha,
हमको
happiness.
कुछ कर्म करना पड़ता है और विशेष तौर से
When we have
तपस्या
to
के
perform any
मार्ग में आना
karma,
पड़ता है तो
and
हमको बहुत
especially
कष्ट
that
होता
goes
है।
against our own nature
तो
or
हम चाहते
desire,
हैं कि हम
then it
करें
is very painful
लेकिन
for
किसी
us.
के दबाव में आके काम ना करें।
So we want to work, but we do not want to work
इसलिए हर
under
एक व्यक्ति चाहता है कि मेरा
any
अच्छा पैसा
authority.
हो, धन हो,
That's
पद
why
हो,
everybody
लेकिन
wants so
किसी का
much
ना करे।
wealth, position,
लेकिन
power,
जब
so
तक
that he
हम ये सब काम ना
does
करें
not have to work under
लेकिन
somebody.
आपके मन के
Even
अंदर
if you do
जिसकी
not
इच्छा
work
पैदा
under
होगी वो आपको
somebody, at
करना
least you will
पड़ेगा।
work under your own mind. And your own mind, if it is
इसलिए
not
कहते हैं
under
कि
your control,
कर्मेंद्रियाणि संयम्य आस्ते मनसा स्मरण, और जो पहले भी पिछले श्लोक में कहा यस्तु इंद्रियाणि मनुष्य नियम्य आरभते अर्जुन कर्मेंद्रिय कर्मयोगम असक्तः स विशिष्यते। तो हमको
so Bhagavan
अपने
explained
कर्मेंद्रिय
these
ज्ञानेंद्रियों को
verses earlier
नियंत्रण में रखना है, अपने
that
मन को
we have to keep our senses under our control, mind under our control. If it is not under our control, then actually we are not independent.
उस समय भी हम कार्य करते हैं लेकिन
So that time also we are performing action, but we think that we are independent, although we are not independent.
जब हमको कार्य
That is why when we anyway have to perform action,
के नीचे कार्य करें
whether it is under somebody else or under our own senses,
तो उसको ऐसा क्यों न करें कि उससे हमको लाभ
then why not do it in such a way that we derive benefit?
नहीं है कि कर्म करने से क्या
Human being does not know himself that what will be the result of performing karma.
इस पूरी सृष्टि को ठीक से समझ
That can be told only by somebody who understands this nature properly.
कि इससे क्या होता है एक बार जो पेट में चला जाता है उसके बाद
When we consume food, when we eat food, we do not know what action effect that food will have inside the body. The same food can nourish somebody's body, it can also lead to disease in somebody else's body. So Shastra gives us a particular vision that this is how we should perform action so that we can get permanent happiness, because everybody wants happiness permanently.
विधान से कार्य करने पर ही
So if you want that permanent happiness, it is only possible by following Shastra. That is what Bhagavan is teaching. And this is the experience of wise people. And actually, as I said, that if we think peacefully, we will ourselves also understand that what is being spoken here is true. Because in our own life, we have done so many things with independent mentality, and if we analyze what was the result of that, we will see that we did not achieve the desired result. So we act with independent mindset, but we do not achieve the desired result. Rather, we get dejection and depression. So Shastra is teaching that how you should perform action so that you achieve happiness, peace. But actually, we should not have that desire for that type of fruit also, because when you get into bound by that desire, then again you try to find out shortcuts for getting happiness. So for that only Bhagavan is teaching again and again here. So what he is explaining in today's verse, the verse number 9, is very important. It is very important. It appears very simple and it seems as if this is some old-fashioned point. But if you understand the science behind it, then this truth is very scientific and it is very beneficial for everyone.
तदर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संगः समाचर भगवान विष्णु को अर्पित
Translation: all endeavors other than those that are performed as an offering to Vishnu are the source of bondage in this world. Therefore, O Kaunteya Arjun, perform your duty efficiently for the sake of Vishnu alone, remaining unattached to the fruits of action. So this is the secret, this is the formula, the art of living. Bhagavan is teaching how not just a particular human being but entire society, nowadays the governments that we have, they should also understand this, because they are governing the country, they frame laws, so they should understand all this, because government also wants that the country should progress. But if they do not know the formula, how to progress, then what happens is just governments keep changing every 4 or 5 years. So here Bhagavan is explaining that the karma that you perform, that karma will become the cause of bondage if you do not perform it as a yajna. This is the simple point. Although it is very simple, but it is very important. So how does karma bind us? Whatever karma you do, it will lead to a fruit. Like the laws of Newton, as Newton said that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Similarly, there Newton is talking of a simple action, but here karma is different from kriya. Here, karma means that which has a doer, and the doer is performing karma with the sense of doership. When we perform action with the sense of doership, then we get bound to that karma. This sense of doership is what binds us to the karma. And if we have attachment to the fruit, then it attaches us to the fruit also. And if we have attachment in the karma, it binds us to that also. So there are three types of attachment. One is to the sense of doership, one is to the karma itself, and one is to the fruit of the karma. So generally we have all the three attachments. But even if we have only one attachment out of these three, it will bind us to karma. This is the principle behind karma. Like there is law of gravity, that any if you throw anything upwards, it will come down because earth is attracting it. Similarly, this is a rule. Wherever you go in the earth, then wherever you go, there will be some gravity. Similarly, if you are on this earth, then the principle of karma will apply on you irrespective of whether you accept it or not. So if it anyway applies on us, it is better that we understand it. Just like the law of gravity applies on us, then we should understand that.
तो इसलिए भगवान यहाँ बताते हैं कि किस प्रकार से हम
So Bhagavan is explaining here how we can remain free from the bondage of karma even while performing karma. That means actually the problem is not in karma, but the problem lies in not performing the karma properly and investing the sense of doership in that and being attached to the karma. So if we can remove those attachments, then that same karma that we perform, it will give us happiness. It will become the cause of liberation, which everybody wants, that we should remain liberated. Independence is nothing but liberation. So simply by thinking you are liberated or independent, you will not become liberated. We have the energy to perform action. How we are utilizing that energy such that we perform action in such a way that we do not fall into bondage. For that, we have to understand that this material world, it is a whole unit. It is a complete unit. I am not the only member in this world. There are many other people also. And my karma affects them also, and their karma affects me also. Because it is not just my individual karma, there is a karma for the whole society, collective karma also for the society. So until and unless we do not perform karma for one common objective, then there will be chaos in society. Like suppose there is let's say you are sitting on a boat in a lake, and every person is rowing the boat according to his own mind in different direction. Then where will the boat go? You will not be able to reach your desired destination. Similarly, every person has his own vasanas, desires, and he wants to fulfill those desires. So one person's vasana is in opposition to the vasana of the other person. Then there will be conflict between both. There will be opposition. But if we all have one common objective, actually everybody has a common objective, that is to achieve Ananda. Ultimately, everybody has one objective only, how to live happily. So if our destination is common, same, then we should sit together and plan how to reach there. But if we start thinking that I should reach there and the other person should not reach there, or the other person also thinks that I should reach there, not the other one, then we will continue having conflicts, and none of us will be able to reach our destination. So this is the situation of society today. The countries which are engaging in war with each other, families fighting against each other, everywhere there is conflict. Why is it like that? Because two people do not want to work together. And why is that? Because everybody has a different objective, although ultimate objective is same only for everybody, but the processes for achieving that objective are different for everyone. This is where conflict arises. But if we understand that we all have to achieve that same destination, and then how to reach that, Bhagavan is recommending here.
लोकोयम कर्म बंधन। तो अगर आप यज्ञ के लिए कार्य करते हैं,
If you are performing action for karma, you will not fall into bondage, which means you will not suffer.
और वो यज्ञ क्या है?
And what is that yajna?
ऐसा कार्य करना
That yajna is such action which leads to your progress also, it leads to progress of society also, and it does not pollute the environment also. This is called yajna. Yajna word comes from the dhatu yaj, and yaj dhatu has three meanings. One is Dev Puja, second is Sangati Karan, and third is Dan.
तीन अर्थ यश धातु के
Yash dhatu has
अगर पढ़े तो आप
these three meanings in dhatu part.
तो सबसे पहले देव पूजा।
So first is Dev Puja.
ये जो विश्व
That
है, जो
this
संसार है,
world,
ये ऐसा नहीं है कि अपने आप कहीं से
it
आया
is not such that it has come up automatically. Somebody has
इसके कुछ
designed it,
देवता हैं,
and there are some deities in this material world.
तो सरकार में
Like you have government, so in government there are some ministers.
बिजली का विभाग अलग है,
There is a department for electricity, for water,
सिक्योरिटी का
security,
शिक्षा का अलग है,
education.
के सबके अपने अपने विभाग हैं।
So these are different divisions and they have their own respective ministers. So if I want electricity, then at the end of the month I have to pay the electricity bill. If I do not pay the bill, then my connection will be disconnected. I am using water, so I have to pay tax for that. I am living in home, so I have to pay the property tax. I have to pay tax for municipality because they are collecting the garbage.
एक तंत्र है,
So this whole system which has been designed in the government,
देना पड़ेगा ना।
so we have to give something.
यज्ञ का मतलब होता है लेना और देना।
So yajna means give and take.
मैं कुछ दूं।
Dev Puja means I give something. And then there is Dan
पूजा संगति
or charity.
दानेषु, तीन अर्थ में यज्ञ शब्द का प्रयोग।
These are the three meanings of the word yajna. So if I am taking something, I have to also give something. If I am living in society
कुछ सुविधाएं दे रहा
and society is giving me some benefit, then it is my duty also
लेकिन आज क्या हो गया कि समाज
to do something. But now what has happened in the society, everybody is fighting for his right.
लेकिन अधिकार के साथ में कर्तव्य भी आता है।
But along with rights, there are responsibilities also.
जब भी
Why do you have right?
अधिकार की बात
Whenever you speak of adhikara, along with adhikara rights, there are responsibilities or duties also. Wherever you get some rights, you also have some responsibilities attached to that.
जैसे हमको ये सब टैक्स देने पड़ते हैं,
So just like we have to give all these tax, similarly in this world, we are using air.
अगर हमारा जीवन
We cannot sustain our life without air. So it is our duty that we keep this air pure.
और भगवान ने ये सृष्टि यज्ञ रूप में ही बनाई।
Bhagavan has created this world in the form of a yajna.
भागवत में कथा सुनी है कि
In Bhagavatam, you have heard this pastime that when Brahma ji made this creation, he gave birth to Manu. From Manu we have man.
मनु और शत्रुपा,
So Manu and Shatarupa, these two from their
रहने के लिए स्थान दीजिए, तो
Manu said that I want place to live.
वो जब आए
So Brahma ji said that you go to earth. And when Manu came, he saw that the earth was submerged in water. So it is told in the form of a story that even science accepts that earth has been generated from water.
उनके नाक से निकले,
So then from Brahma ji's nose, Bhagavan Varahadev appeared.
स्वरूप बोला जाता है। अगर आप
Bhagavan Varaha is known as Yajna Swarup. The Swarup of Varaha is Yajna Swarup. That is why it is said Yajna Vai Vishnu. Yajna is also the name of Bhagavan Vishnu.
पृथ्वी जो है
That means
वो यज्ञ के
this
रूप में आई।
earth has appeared as a yajna.
देखेंगे कि संसार
So here you will see in this world everything is self-balancing.
पेड़ पौधे आवश्यक हैं क्योंकि वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को लेकर ऑक्सीजन,
Trees and plants are needed because they take carbon dioxide, they give oxygen. We need oxygen, we take oxygen and we give carbon dioxide.
हम ऑक्सीजन
So this give and take happens. So we are taking oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide. Plants are consuming carbon dioxide, they are giving out oxygen. So this is a yajna of Prakriti that is going on. But if we break this yajna of Prakriti, that means
दूषित चीजें पैदा करने लगे,
we give rise to some polluted substances.
बिगड़ जाएगी।
polluting substances, then the whole system will become distorted. So now we ride in we cars, all we use petrol, gas, all these we
तो फिर उससे क्या
if
होगा, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग,
then there will be global
ऐसी
warming,
समस्याएं खड़ी होंगी।
then there will be
भगवान
problems. So why is this
जो
happening?
सृष्टि का एक चक्र
Because
है,
the
आगे भगवान इसी
cycle
अध्याय में बोलेंगे कि
that
यम
exists in
भवति
this
संचितो
nature,
नार्य
later Bhagavan will say
अघायुर इंद्रिया रामो मोघम पार्थ स जीवति, कि मैंने एक ये चक्र स्थापित कर दिया है।
that I
तो
have
ये जो
made the
यज्ञ है
cycle
ये
in
उस
this
चक्र
world.
को
So yajna is
बैलेंस करने के लिए,
what something that balances
कि
that
किस
chakra,
प्रकार से हमारे समाज
that
में
how in our society
समता पैदा हो,
balance can be maintained, equilibrium can be
तो
maintained.
मनुष्य जो है वो ही
So
है
human being
जो इसको तोड़ता है,
is that
और कोई
only
दूसरा
human
जीव
being
जो
is
है
that
वो
entity
इस चक्र
which
को नहीं
destroys
तोड़ता,
this nature.
केवल मनुष्य
No
ही है,
animal, birds,
वही एक
trees,
खतरनाक
they
प्राणी है,
don't destroy this
सबसे
nature.
खतरनाक,
The human being is the only and the most dangerous
सबसे
creature
शिकंगर है,
in this planet. Everybody
जितना बड़ा होता है
is
वो उतना
threatened by
खतरनाक है।
human being.
शेर
Elephant
हाथी
is such so
इनको
strong.
पिंजरे में बंद कर दो,
Elephant is so strong. Lions are so strong.
हाथी भी
But
नाचता
human
है
being
आदमी के सामने,
can
शेर भी
and
नाचता है, आप
put them
देखेंगे
also
कभी
in
सर्कस
cage.
में जाओ,
If you go to
शेर
circus, you
नाचते
will
हैं।
see the lion also dances,
तो
elephant
ये
also dances,
पशु
although they are so strong.
पशु
So
तो
this is
कहीं भी
the
उसको जाके पकड़ लेगा,
this is human being. Human
उसको
being will
कोई
go
छोड़ नहीं
anywhere.
सकता और किसी
Human
को
being
कुछ
can
खा सकता है।
catch
हाथ
any
पैर
other
सब
creature
कुछ इतना
because
खतरनाक है,
human being
लेकिन ये
has
वास्तव में इतना
intelligence,
खतरनाक है क्योंकि
tongue,
इनका बहुत
the
सारा उपयोग
faculty
है।
of speech and hands.
तो
Now
ये सब
these are very dangerous,
एक
although they can be used
पशुओं के लिए है,
beneficially
दूसरे
also.
का नहीं है,
So these are given
क्योंकि
for human beings because only human being
जानवर
needs
तो
them.
तोड़ते नहीं है। तो इसलिए भगवान कहते हैं कि अगर आप कार्य
Animals
करते
don't
हैं
destroy this nature. So that is
बिना
this
मेहनत
that is why Bhagavan is
बिना
giving knowledge to
परिश्रम
human
के
being
आप कार्य
only,
लेते हैं, तो आप
that you should maintain the equilibrium in this nature. You are consuming food, so
हमने
don't
देखा है
produce garbage.
गांव के जीवन
So
में
earlier we have
कि ये जो
seen
कूड़ा
in the
करकट
village life
ये पैदा होता ही नहीं था,
there was no system of any
प्लास्टिक
garbage.
इत्यादि इस तरह की कोई
There
चीजें
was
नहीं थी,
the thing called plastic in
सभी
our
क्या है,
childhood.
जो भी चीजें पैदा होती थी वो खेत से पैदा होती थी,
Whatever was being produced
जमीन
was
का
produced on
उपयोग
the
होता था,
fields, and
उसको एक
we
जगह
used to
एकत्रित
bring
किया
them
जाता था
to
गांव के
home.
बाहर,
And all the
बरसात
peels
होने
of the
वाली थी,
vegetables,
आप
etc.,
वहां
were
जाते थे,
collected separately and they were used
तो
as
ये
compost.
चीज कहीं देखने को ही नहीं मिलती थी,
So we never saw anything called garbage.
और उसके लिए म्यूनिसिपैलिटी की आवश्यकता नहीं पड़ती थी आपको,
And that's why you
और
never needed any municipality for that.
गार्बेज डंपिंग ये वो कितनी
There was no
समस्याएं
need
थी
of any
उसके लिए,
garbage dumping
उसको
on anything.
रिसाइकल करो,
Now there is so much
ये
problem.
सब
You have to
समस्याएं
collect
मनुष्य को
garbage, you have to
झेलनी पड़ती थी।
recycle the
पहले
garbage.
लोग रहते थे तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं था,
Earlier
तो
there
इसलिए
was no such
आजकल जो
problems.
है, क्योंकि आजकल जो हमारा विज्ञान और हमारी जो तकनीकी जो टेक्नोलॉजी जो नई नई जो अन्वेषण करते हैं, तो वो उसका
So
केवल
the
लाभ
problem
देखते
is
हैं,
those who are
समस्याओं
inventing
को
new
क्या
things
लाभ होगा,
today, they are only seeing the
लेकिन वो ये नहीं
benefits,
देखते हैं कि
the
इसका जो है
the
साइड
positive
इफेक्ट्स क्या
side
है।
of that, but they do not pay attention
जैसे
to
एक
the
व्यक्ति
side
दूसरे
effects
व्यक्ति
that
को
their
यदि रोग
inventions
लगता है
will
तो उसका वो ये देखेगा
lead
कि किस
to.
प्रकार
Like
से
in modern
ये
medicine, those who are
निवारण करें,
inventing or
लेकिन वो
discovering
ये
new
नहीं देखते
medicines, they
कि
just
इसका
see
साइड में
how
इफेक्ट क्या होगा,
what benefit it will
तो
give,
ये
but
सबसे
what
बड़ी
side effect it will have, they don't see that. This is the biggest
फिर
problem
10 साल
in
बाद में पता
modern
चलेगा कि
science.
ये जो
Then
दवाई
after
इससे
10
ये
years,
फायदा
you
हुआ, इससे ये
understand
फायदा
that
हुआ,
this medicine
इसको
actually
बंद
leads
करो,
to cancer. Then you have to
उसको
ban
बंद
that
करो,
medicine.
लेकिन इसी
Then you have
बीच
to do another
वो
research.
जिन लोगों ने बनाई थी फिर उसको थर्ड वर्ल्ड कंट्री में फ्री में दे
Then
देंगे,
whatever medicines were made,
ये
then you sell
फार्मा
it for cheap in
दवाइयाँ
third
हैं,
world
यूरोप और
countries.
अमेरिका में
So
बनी हुई
many
बिल्कुल,
medicines are there in
ये
India
कुछ
which
नहीं
are
है,
actually banned in Europe, but they are continuing in
और लोग
India,
मरते रहेंगे।
and people keep consuming
तो
them.
इस
They
प्रकार
will
की
die.
समस्याएं हमारे समाज में आती हैं,
So in
क्योंकि
our
हम
society we have these
इस
type of
इस
problems
सीधी बात को नहीं समझते हैं,
because we do not
ये
understand this
हमारा
simple point.
इसलिए भगवान ने हमको आयुर्वेद दिया, मेडिकल साइंस
That's
दी है,
why Bhagavan
कि
already gave us
आयुर्वेद में
Ayurved, which is the medical science
जो
which
मॉडर्न
has no
साइंस
such problems as in modern
है उसको
science.
हमने समाप्त कर दिया,
But we are destroying
उसमें सब
that.
कुछ था, सर्जरी भी थी,
It
सर्जरी
Ayurved
भी थी,
contains everything. They had surgery also in Sushrut Samhita, plastic surgery also.
ऑपरेशन भी होते थे, 32 प्रकार के ऑपरेशन करने के इंस्ट्रूमेंट सब
32
उनका
types of
वर्णन है
instruments
सुश्रुत
are
संहिता में,
there in Sushrut Samhita.
कैसे
They are
हार्ट को
described
कोलैप्स
there
कर
for
देते हैं,
surgery.
मैंने आपको बताया ना कि मैंने खुद अनुभव किया,
I had
एक
myself
साधु थे
experienced that.
वृंदावन में,
There was one
वो
sadhu in
आ
Vrindavan.
गए, उन्होंने मेरे
I
को
went to
हार्ट के
him.
ऊपर लगाया,
He
मैं
just
एकदम से बेहोश हो गया,
pressed, he just put his
ये
hand these
सब
two sides, and I was
हार्ट
immediately
करने से पहले मेरे
unconscious
को पता नहीं
in
चला,
1 second.
दोबारा दबाया मैं जाग गया, 2 बार
So when I woke up, he again did that, and again I fell unconscious. So he showed me 2 times. There was no need of any chemical for anesthesia. He just did it immediately.
कोई खर्च नहीं, कोई पैसा नहीं। तो ऐसे ऐसे सब
No
विज्ञान हुआ
expenditure.
जो
So we
हमने
had these
बताया।
types of signs
हर
earlier,
चीज तो पुस्तक में लिखी हुई
which
नहीं है।
have been lost
अब मैं
because everything is not written in the book.
पर बोलूं तो ये सब तो
If
सब
I
उसके
am
अंदर में है, तो सब
reading this verse and speaking for 1 hour, it is all based in the verse only.
व्यक्ति इसको नहीं समझ सकता।
But just by reading the verse, you cannot understand everything. That is why we need knowledge from parampara. So here Bhagavan is giving the formula.
कितना साधारण एक लाइन है, लेकिन कितनी
It's such
महत्वपूर्ण
a simple statement, but it is so important.
और ये अगर हमारा समाज, हमारी सरकार इसको
And if
समझ
our
ले,
society, our government can understand this, then all problems will be solved.
इसलिए भगवान कहते हैं कि तदर्थम कर्म
That's why Bhagavan says
संघ समाचार, इसलिए उसके लिए काम कीजिए, यज्ञ के लिए
that
काम कीजिए।
you should perform your duty for yajna.
बनाया ही इसलिए है कि आपकी
Bhagavan has made yajna for this purpose only, so that all your desires get fulfilled.
को आपको भौतिक
Whatever you
दोनों मिल जाए,
desire, you get both
समाज
material and spiritual benefit.
पूरी करता है,
Today's society only cares for material benefit, and that too not nicely. It is full of competition.
इकट्ठा करके
One person collects so many other people and then tries to exploit them. He becomes powerful and he makes laws.
जितनी भी सरकारें हैं वो सब
All the governments today, they are being run only by rich people,
फिर ऐसे बनवाएंगे ताकि उनको लाभ,
and they make laws in such a way so that only society is only they are benefited.
सैटेलाइट्स
Like Elon Musk wants to launch
हमारे एटमॉस्फेयर
thousands of satellites in the atmosphere, 40,000 satellites in the atmosphere. Imagine how much pollution will be there by those satellites,
फर्क पड़ेगा हमारे वातावरण पर, इसको तो कोई
and what will be the impact on the environment. Nobody knows this.
की सोचता है, और फिर इससे जो सूक्ष्म स्तर पर कितना प्रभाव पड़ेगा, जो
And at subtle level, how much effect will be there
प्रकृति के ऊपर
on the devatas, on the material nature. This is what he doesn't know, but there will be impact.
पता भी नहीं चलेगी,
And people will not even understand that it will give rise to so many diseases. Now there was COVID. Till today, nobody actually knows why there was COVID. There will be mental diseases,
उनका पता नहीं चलता,
psychological problems. We won't understand that. Today, human being is so much disturbed.
क्योंकि ये यज्ञ
Why? Because this yajna, shraddha karma, there was a great science behind that. People do not perform all that.
नहीं लगा सकते कि
So modern science cannot understand that. Why human being is so depressed,
इतना अस्थिर क्यों है,
lacks fulfillment, so much hyperactive. Why his mind is so disturbed? Modern science cannot understand that.
लोकोयम कर्म बंधन है। तो अब यज्ञ के लिए तो कोई कार्य कर नहीं रहा है, तो इसलिए
So
बंधन,
nobody is doing anything for yajna.
इसलिए सब
So there is bondage. Bondage means suffering.
के पास में नहीं है, वो भी दुखी।
The wealthy person is also suffering. The poor person is also suffering.
हम जानते हैं कि शारीरिक दुख ही नहीं है, मानसिक दुख,
So suffering does not mean only physical suffering, but at mental level also.
कहीं भी चले जाओ आप,
Wherever you go,
और उसका यही मूल कारण है।
this is the main reason for that.
इसको थोड़ा और गहराई से समझें।
Now, if we understand this more deeply,
संगतिकरण, तीसरा जो अर्थ है संगतिकरण, मतलब समाज को
the other meaning is Sangatikaran means to collect people together, how to live together. Today in society, there is no Sangatikaran. It is all Asangatikaran. Everybody is breaking up. There is no unity. There is no unity in a family also. One neighbor does not know the other one. There is no unity anywhere.
पहले जैसे यज्ञ होता था, जैसे
So earlier, like there was yajna, when you hear Bhagavatam, where was Bhagavatam told? In Naimisharanya, Shaunak and other rishis, they were collectively performing yajna.
स्वर्गाय सत्रम, आशा था उन्होंने वो यज्ञ कर रहे थे, वहीं पर तो उन्होंने कथा सुनी। तो पहले इस प्रकार
There they heard the katha. So earlier there used to be such big yajnas, people used to come and sit together, and there used to be kathas and discussions.
भी मिलता है।
So this is the also benefit of yajna.
एक तो ये है कि जैसे अग्निहोत्र इत्यादि जो लोग
One is the Agnihotra, etc., what Nitya Karma that people do in their home, but in the big yajnas, all the people used to collect together. So this is Sangati Karan. And then there was Dan or charity. everybody was given food, so people were living together. There was no envy or jealousy.
और वहां बैठकर फिर ये विचार किया जाता था
And
कि
then
समाज
there
में
was deliberation
समस्या है तो उसको कैसे दूर किया जाए।
that if there is a problem in society, how we should get rid of that. This is what Shaunak Rishi was also asking
उनको वो
from Suta
शास्त्र का सार
Goswami,
बताइए जिससे
that please tell us the essence of
सबका
Shastra
कल्याण हो।
so that
परीक्षित ने भी यही
there may
पूछा
be benefit to entire humanity.
दूसरे व्यक्ति का क्या
This
कार्य
is
है।
what Parikshit also
तो
asked,
इस प्रकार की
that
चर्चा
what is the duty of a person who is dying.
में बड़े बड़े
So
विद्वान
this used to be discussed there, because there in the yagyas very intelligent people used to assemble,
का मतलब होता है
and the next
देवता उद्देश्य है ना
meaning of yagya is dana.
कि देवता के उद्देश्य से द्रव्य का त्याग
For
करना।
the purpose of devata
तो देवता
to
क्या
do
करते
tyaga
हैं
of dravya,
दूसरे
to give
लोगों
up
को
dravya, that is
प्रसाद
dana.
देते हैं।
So when we give dana, others get prasad.
संतो मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल विषयी यज्ञ से जो बचा हुआ अवशेष रहता है उसको अमृत बोलते हैं।
The remainder of yagya is known as amrita. So that is distributed in the public.
यज्ञ का और ये यज्ञ मैं केवल जो भौतिक यज्ञ है उसकी बात कर रहा
And
हूँ।
I am just talking of the material yagya here. In Gita, there is discussion of many types of yagyas.
आहुति प्रक्षिप्त करते हैं
Just the yagya, the offering that we make in fire, only that is not yagya. Here, pranayam is also yagya, adhyayan is also yagya, dan, tapasya, these are all yagya.
क्योंकि यज्ञ का जो विस्तृत अर्थ है वो है कि
Because the expanded meaning of yagya, the complete meaning is that we give something to this world, so that giving may happen in any way. And the ultimate meaning of yagya is Bhagavan Vishnu himself.
यज्ञो वही विष्णु। तो इसलिए जो इस श्लोक का मैंने अनुवाद
That
किया
is
है
why
यज्ञ में
the translation that I have done
कि हम
for
कोई भी
yagya here is Vishnu.
तो वो विष्णु को अर्पित करके करें।
So the point is, whatever action we perform it as an offering to Vishnu.
यज्जुहोसि ददासि यत् तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम्। आगे भी कहते हैं सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज। तो ये कहने का मतलब ये
So
है कि
this, what Bhagavan is speaking here, the point is that Bhagavan is the center of this world.
कहा कि ये एक इकाई है इसलिए इसको
As I said that this is a complete unit. It is called universe. Uni means one. It is one unit. And the center of this unit is Bhagavan himself.
तो हर एक कार्य उन्हीं के लिए किया जाए।
So every action should be performed for him only. Like if you are working in an office or any organization, so then you perform action for the owner of that company only, and then in return for that he gives you some salary. Similarly, this whole world is a unit,
तो इस और उसके मालिक इसके सृष्टा
and the owner, the creator, the maintainer of this world is Bhagavan Vishnu himself. So action should be performed for him. So whatever action you perform, you should perform keeping Bhagavan Vishnu in the center. Then you will not fall into bondage.
तो ये एक आप विहित कर्म करें
So one point is that you perform your prescribed duty, and the other point is that whatever duty you perform, because we perform worldly actions and we perform some religious actions also. Like if somebody is doing business or agriculture,
ये तो लौकिक क्रिया है
so these are worldly actions. So how to convert them also into yagya?
भी हमारी भावना ये होनी
That behind this also our bhava mentality should be that I do this for Bhagavan.
सकलम नारायण इति समर्पयेत तत्। तो हम जो भी करें
That whatever we do,
भगवान नारायण के
we do it as an offering to Bhagavan Narayan.
अगर आप थोड़ा गहरी दृष्टि से देखें जैसे जीव गोस्वामी जी ने अपना विश्लेषण किया।
If you think deeply, like Jiva Goswami, he analyzed in Sandarbha, he says that what is the fundamental problem that we have? The problem is Vaimukhyata, that we are Vimukha from Bhagavan.
यानी कि हम अपने आप को स्वतंत्र समझ रहे हैं।
That means we are considering ourselves independent. So what is the solution for that? That is Samukhyata.
के पिताजी हैं
So it is like if you have, let's say, your father is a very rich person, very influential person, and you are his son or daughter,
जितनी भी आपकी आवश्यकता है वो सब की पूर्ति करते हैं आपको
and
सब
he
कुछ जो
fulfills all your needs. whatever you need for living, he gives you
यह
everything.
स्वाभाविक है कि हम जो भी कुछ करें वो उनसे पूछ के
So
करें,
it is natural that whatever we do under
लेकिन हम
being
कहते
out
हैं
of
हम
being
सब कर
out
लेंगे,
of obedience to
हम
him.
कुछ नहीं
But
करते,
if we say that no, there is, I don't have any father,
मैं तो
he
सोता हूँ,
doesn't do anything for
तो फिर
me,
भी वो आपको सब कुछ
I am
देता है।
independent, and still he
तो बात
continues
वही
to
की
give
है कि
everything to
हम
you,
इस बात को मानते भी नहीं है कि आपके पिता जो
meaning
सब कुछ
that
कर
you
रहे हैं,
don't even accept that your father is doing everything for you,
लेकिन फिर भी
but
सब
he
कुछ
is so
आपको देता है।
generous that still he keeps
तो
giving
इसको कहते
everything
हैं
to you.
वैमुख्यता।
So then, if this type
इसलिए
of mentality that you
भागवत में
have, this is called
कहते हैं कि
Vaimukhyata.
पिताजी को तो कुछ हानि होने वाली नहीं है,
So this is a loss for you only. Your father will not
लॉस
suffer any loss because he is influential, he is rich.
लेकिन आपको ही हो
What
सकता है
will be his loss? Loss will be to you only.
नीचे जो कार्य करते हैं कुछ
Those
मैनेजर
who are
कुछ
working
कहते हैं
under
कि काम
him,
करने
the
को तैयार
managers,
रहते
let's
हैं,
say they don't
ये
like
ऐसा है
you.
तो हम क्यों इसकी
They
सेवा
say
करें,
that when he doesn't
फालतू
listen
की
to
सेवा
his
करेंगे।
father only, why should we
तो इसी
take care
प्रकार
of him?
संसार है,
So they may trouble you.
भगवान
So
कहते हैं कि
similarly,
मैं
this
सबका
world is
पिता हूँ,
there. Bhagavan says
भगवान कहते हैं कि मैं सबका माँ
that
है, बाप
I
है,
am everybody's mother, father,
और उनके नीचे देवता लोग काम करते हैं।
and under Bhagavan there are the devatas who are governing
जैसे
the
कि आज
this
भारत
world.
के लोग ये कहते हैं कि
So if you say that, like nowadays people say there is no
तो
God,
क्या देवता लोग जो है आपकी
then
सामग्री काटना चालू कर देंगे?
the devatas they will start cutting
बड़ा
whatever
आदमी है
from
उसके
where
नीचे
whatever they are
उसके
supplying
नीचे
to you,
जाति हैं जो काम करते हैं।
because the top boss he doesn't do
तो ये
everything,
वास्तविकता
that there
है
are people under him who are doing different
कि उसके
things.
नीचे
So this is the
जो
reality.
देवता लोग कार्य करते हैं
The devatas who
वो
are
आपको
doing
सामग्री
the
देना बंद
various
कर
things
देंगे,
under Bhagavan, they will stop
भगवान
supplying
नहीं कह
your
रहे हैं इसके
needs.
लिए, लेकिन उसके
Bhagavan
नीचे
is
जो
not
लोग
telling them
काम
to do
करते हैं
this, but the
वही
devatas they
आपकी
will keep
समस्या
placing
पैदा कर
obstacles
सकते
in
हैं।
your life. So then you will
तो
have
यही
trouble.
स्थिति आज की है।
So this is the situation
इसलिए जब
today.
हम सुनते हैं भागवत में बात
Whatever
करते
like
हैं
we
तो
hear
कुछ
in
लोग कहते हैं कि
Bhagavatam,
ये केवल कहानियां
many
हैं, बनाई
people
हुई हैं,
say that these are
जो
simply
महाराजा हैं
stories.
या जो बड़े
But if
बड़े
you
राजा
hear
हैं
about
उनके बारे
Yudhishthir
में
and the great kings,
वर्णन आता है कि
then
बहुत
in their kingdom it is
समृद्धशाली राजा थे,
described that they were very
उनको किसी
rich,
चीज की कोई कमी नहीं थी।
wealthy, very influential
क्यों?
kings.
क्योंकि प्रकृति
There was
प्रसन्न थी,
they did not have
ये
lack of
प्रकृति
any
जड़ नहीं है
necessity
जैसा हम
because
समझते हैं।
this material nature is
ये
not
जड़ संसार
inert
है,
like
इसलिए
what
उसको
we
स्वस्थ
think.
नहीं होता है वो,
Today, material
इसलिए
science
उसको दुर्बल
considers
माना जाता है,
this nature as jada, inert.
इससे
That's why it
दुखों
just wants to keep it under control.
लेकिन हमारी जो भारतीय संस्कृति है
But the
वो
Indian
क्या
culture
समझती है
does not
कि ये
consider
जड़
material
संसार है,
nature as
हमारी
jada, inert.
संस्कृति
It
में
rather considers
इसकी
material
पूजा
nature as
होती है,
worshipable, and we
और
worship
जब
this
हम उसकी
nature.
पूजा करेंगे तो वो
So
प्रसन्न
when
होगा,
you worship the nature,
इसलिए
then being
ये हमारी
pleased,
जो
nature
मूलभूत
supplies our
चीजें हैं
necessities
वो
to
प्रकृति
us
से ही आती हैं।
because our fundamental necessities has to be supplied from nature only.
लेकिन आपका जो
You
खाना
may
पीना
make so many things by technology,
ये तो
but the
प्रकृति से
basic
आता है,
necessities of your life will be supplied by nature only, not
इसलिए
material
प्रकृति मान
science.
लेती है
So then
जैसा राजा
nature
महाराजा ने
starts
प्रकृति को
withholding,
दिखाया था,
giving the supplies,
प्रकृति ने
like it
सब
was
कुछ लिया
explained in the story of King
थमा
Vena,
लिया, तो फिर
that the material
क्या
nature
होगा
started taking everything
राजा
back.
महाराज का,
Then Bhagavan had to
उसने
appear as King
छुड़ाया
Prithu.
उनसे। तो ये कहानियां जो है वो हमें कुछ
So these pastimes which are
बातें जो है
narrated,
वो समझाती हैं, कहानी
they
कहने का
are
मतलब
narrated in order to
ये
teach
वास्तव में
teach the
संसार
tattva, the
कैसा है।
philosophy to us, that how
जो
this world
वास्तविक
operates.
कारण है हमारी समस्याओं का वो है कि हम
So the main
विमुख हैं,
reason for all our problems is that
और उस विमुखता के
we have
कारण
turned away from Bhagavan. We are Vimukha.
तो ये यज्ञ जो है ये हमको
So
सामुख्य
this
बनाने
yajna,
के लिए
it
हमको
brings
भगवान की ओर
samukhyata. It turns us towards
बुलाता
Bhagavan.
है कि हम थोड़ा देना सीखें,
That we learn to give
हम
also.
थोड़ा यज्ञ करना भी चालू करेंगे तो थोड़ा देने की आदत पड़ेगी हमको,
If we
तो थोड़ा
start
हम
doing
परोपकार
yajna,
करना सीखें,
we will start
निस्वार्थता की
becoming
सेवा
trained to
करना
give
सीखें।
also.
नहीं तो क्या होता है कि हम जो भी काम करते हैं उसमें केवल हमारा अपना
Otherwise,
स्वार्थ
what
रहता है,
happens, whatever we do, in
हम
that
कभी नहीं सोचते
there
कि
is
इससे किसी
selfishness
और
for
को
us.
भलाई
What is in
होगी,
it for me?
किससे
We
क्या
do
होगा।
not think
आज
that by
आज
doing
देखिए
this, what will
विज्ञान
be
इस
the
बात को
benefit or loss to society. This way of thinking
इसलिए
has been
नैनं
lost.
निजय परो
Nobody thinks like this.
गणना लघु चेसना चेतसाम उदार चरिता नाम तो वसुधाएव कुटुंबकम। तो जो छोटी दृष्टि है वो ये सोचता है ये मेरा है,
So
इसका
this
मेरे को
is narrow mentality that this is mine, this is
वो
of some other person.
वसुधा को पूरी पृथ्वी को एक
But those who are
परिवार समझते हैं।
broad-minded, they consider the whole world as
ये
their
जो है
family.
वैदिक संस्कृति के पूरी
This is the Vedic
सार है,
culture. that the whole world is a family. And what is the modern mentality? That the whole world is a marketplace.
व्यक्ति कुछ ना कुछ बेचना
Every
चाहता
person is trying to sell something.
है आज
Today,
अपने को भी बेचना चाहता है
every person is trying to sell something. Everybody is trying to sell himself also. Why are we taking education? So that when we become educated, we will write a CV and we will sell ourselves. What are our capabilities? So that somebody can purchase us.
एक प्रोडक्ट
That
बन गया
means a human being has also become a product.
तो फिर इसमें शांति सुख प्रसन्नता कैसे
Then,
मिल सकती है
how is it possible
यानी कि
to derive peace,
हमने
happiness
अपने
in
आप
such a society?
व्यक्ति को भी एक
Meaning,
जड़ वस्तु बना दिया है
a living being is also being considered as as inert matter.
में नौकरी मिल भी जाती है तो आप जड़ जो कंप्यूटर आदि
If
उनके
you
नीचे
get a
काम
job in some company also, you are working under some machines
आर्टिफिशियल
only.
इंटेलिजेंस आ गई तो मनुष्य
Like
की
now you
जरूरत
have
रही
this
नहीं
artificial intelligence, so you don't see human being.
चेतन
You will not see human being anywhere.
है वो जड़ पदार्थ का नौकर बन
So
गया है तो
the
उसमें फिर स्वतंत्रता
Chetan
कैसे मिलेगी
Padartha, living being, is becoming slave of inert matter.
छोटा सा
Then where is the
इंटरव्यू
question of
बहुत
independence?
बड़ा वैज्ञानिक बोल रहा था कि
I saw a small interview where a great scientist is
होगी कि
telling that this
मनुष्य
AI
जो है
is so
अपने आप को
dangerous
ही खत्म कर देगी
that it will destroy the whole humanity one day.
कहता है ये लोग समझ नहीं रहे हैं इस बात
He
को
says that
कि ये
people are
बहुत
not
मुश्किल है
understanding this. It will
तो ये
destroy the whole humanity one day. So this is our progress.
तो इसलिए भगवान यहाँ पर एक हमको
That
सरल
is why
फार्मूला
here
मन की
Bhagavan is giving us a simple formula here
बता रहे हैं जीवन जीने का
how to live.
अपने जो क्रिया करते हैं
That
उसको
whatever
बदलना
action you
पड़ेगा बिल्कुल
perform,
अपनी सोच को बदलना
activity you
पड़ेगा
perform, what you have to do, you just have to change your
आप
mentality.
बिजनेस करते हैं
Bhagavan will not take
बिजनेस
anything
करते
from you.
हैं आप
You do your
विद्यार्थी हैं
business or agriculture or you are a teacher
लेकिन
or
उसमें आप
whatever
अपनी
you
सोच
do,
बदलें कि मैं
you
ये
change your mentality in
भगवान के
that.
लिए करता हूँ
That
यज्ञ के लिए
whatever I
करता
am doing, I am doing this for Bhagavan, for
हूँ
yajna.
इससे आपका बंधन नहीं होगा
So then you will not
क्योंकि
fall into
आध्यात्मिकता
bondage
की जो बीमारी है जो
because
रोग है जो मूल
this
रोग है वो
disease that you have,
अहंकार का है
that of Vaimukhya, being turned away from Bhagavan,
तो ये
that disease will go away.
भगवान यहाँ पर हमको शिक्षा दे
So
रहे हैं
this is what Bhagavan is teaching
तो
here.
अगर आपके अंदर सकाम भाव भी है
So if you have Sakama Bhav,
निष्काम भाव से काम करें तो
actually
सबसे बढ़िया
if
है
we work with Nishkam Bhav, that is best.
आसानी से आता नहीं है
But that will not happen
हमारी
so easily.
सकामता यानी हमारी फल में आसक्ति इतनी ज्यादा है
Our
कि जब हम
attachment to the fruit
आध्यात्मिक
is
मार्ग
so
पे
deep
आते हैं
that
तो
when
वहां भी
if we
हम
come on the spiritual
आपके
path,
पीछे ही पड़े
then
रहते
there
हैं
also we are always behind fruit only.
जबकि आध्यात्मिक आरंभ भी तब होता है जब आप
Although
फल में
spirituality begins only when you give up your attachment to the fruit.
समाचार कि मुक्त संग संग से
Like
आसक्ति
here
से मुक्त
Bhagavan is
होकर
telling that
अनासक्त होकर काम कीजिए
you work with detachment.
जो आध्यात्मिक लोग हैं वो भी चाहते हैं कि हमको
So
जल्दी
here
फल
the
मिल जाए
spiritualists,
सिद्धि मिल
they
जाए
also want very quick result
जैसे
by
आजकल
shortcut.
किसी को रोग होता
Like
है तो आयुर्वेद
nowadays,
में लोग
if somebody has a
जाते हैं
disease,
आयुर्वेद
why
थोड़ा
people
समय
don't
लेता
want
है
to get into Ayurveda? Because Ayurveda takes time in
ऐसे
treating the
वास्तव में
disease.
ऐसा है नहीं लेकिन
Although it is
ऐसा
not
हो
like
गया है
that,
क्योंकि
but this is what people
मेडिसिन
think
तुरंत एक
because
इंजेक्शन
the
में
modern medicine gives immediately, it gives an
दर्द
injection
कम हो जाएगा
and reduces your pain.
तो ऐसे ही अध्यात्म में भी
Similarly, in spirituality
आजकल
also,
जो
nowadays
न्यू एज
people, the
गुरु हैं
new age
वो
gurus,
ज्यादा पॉपुलर क्यों हैं
why they are so
जो
popular?
ट्रेडिशनल गुरु हैं उनके पास लोग क्यों नहीं आते हैं
Why people do not go to the traditional gurus?
पहले
Because if you
शास्त्र
go to a
पढ़ने
traditional
जाते
guru,
हैं
he will
शास्त्रों
say,
का पालन
study
करें
Shastra, practice
शास्त्र में आपको
properly,
देखने
follow
को
these rules,
समय के
and
बाद में मिलेगा
you, after a long time, you will see the result.
वो कहेगा
If you
चलो
go to new age
ये
gurus,
करो
he
थोड़ा
will tell,
काम करो
do this
और
pranayam or do that. Immediately, you will start feeling something. Then you start thinking, yes, this is right.
हमारी फल में इतनी आसक्ति है कि हमको
So we
तुरंत
have so much attachment to the fruit
अध्यात्म में आ गए
that
तो
immediately we want something. If we
आयुर्वेद से
come to
काम
the
लो
spiritual path also, immediately we want something. And then these new age
शास्त्रों
gurus,
में
they
आप
start
पढ़ते हैं
exploiting you because that is not
आध्यात्मिकता का
spirituality
मतलब है
actually.
आपका
Spirituality means,
वैमुख्यता
as
से
I said,
साम्यता की
it is
तरफ लाना
from turning to from Vaimukhyata
न्यू एज
to
गुरु वाले
going to
क्या
Samukhyata.
करेंगे
So
शास्त्र
new
में
age gurus won't even
सिद्धांत
talk
बताएंगे
about that. They don't talk about Shastra, Bhagavan, etc. They speak
रिजल्ट
of
बहुत
inner
बढ़िया है
engineering or some other
उसका
thing.
आपके शरीर पर कुछ असर पड़ता है कुछ
It will
प्रभाव
have some
पड़ता
impact
है
on the
उससे
society. Mind
आपकी
will become
फल
peaceful
बढ़ेगी
because human being is
तो
disturbed.
उसी में फिर
So
आप
then he starts thinking, yes, this is
केवल
good.
फल पर
So this is basically nothing but being focused on the result. That's why they look for shortcuts. So, but here Bhagavan is telling that if you want the real solution to all your problems, then you have to give up attachment. And this is very difficult because we don't have experience of this, how to live with detachment. In spiritual path, if we get little bit of problem, then we start giving up the spiritual path.
तो फिर उसमें रुचि नहीं.
So we do not have interest in that. But same person, when he is into business, then how much he is absorbed in his business,
कष्ट उठाकर वो सब वो तपस्या सह लेता है वहां पर.
how much trouble he tolerates
मेरे को ये वाला फल मिल जाएगा.
in that business, because he thinks that I will give this result, although there is no guarantee of the result.
वो अनित्य होगा.
And even if you get that, it will be temporary. It will be for short period. Then the government will change the rule.
उससे कोई बढ़िया प्रोडक्ट मार्केट में आ जाएगा.
If you are making some product, then there will be some new product in the market. So that is why
जो हम कर्म करते हैं,
whatever karma we do should be for yajna, and the real yajna is the yajna of ourself, our own ahankar, offering our own ahankara itself. This is the real yajna.
जोशिका बोलती रहती है.
This is the what Joshika ji keeps speaking about.
वो है मैं
So the real offering is the offering of ahankara,
में समर्पित कर.
to offer it in the lotus feet of Bhagavan. That's why at the end Bhagavan says
ये असली यज्ञ है.
Mamekam Sharanam Braja, which is the real yajna. But then you have to make some beginning. Like in yoga,
अष्टांग योग है.
actually what the Ashtanga yoga,
तीन भाग हैं.
the last three angas of Ashtanga yoga, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, that is actually yoga. The 5 angas before that, these are just external, just preparatory.
आपको स्थूल रूप से आसन करो, प्राणायाम करो.
But in the gross way, you have to start with something like asana, pranayam, etc. But actually, you have to come to the level of mind that he told in the beginning only.
वास्तव में योग तो चित्त वृत्तियों का
Actually, yoga is the nirodha of chitta vritti. So where is asana and pranayam in that? But then if you just tell directly, start doing nirodha of chitta vritti, then you won't even understand that. That's why first you start doing physical exercise.
पादांगुष्ठ आसन कीजिए.
Start doing asana.
आसन करो, वृश्चिक आसन. तो ये सब तोड़ो मोड़ो, तो ये शरणागति की तरफ आपको ले जा रहे हैं. अंत में आपको लाना है.
So these are all taking you ultimately to Sharanagati. Ultimately, you have to come to the Sharanagati of Bhagavan only. So yajna is this only.
ऋषि लोग थे वो मनुष्य की
Our rishis, they understood the mentality of human being,
आसान काम नहीं है. वो
that it is not easy to bring human being to surrender because he is vimukha. So then start from far distance so that the person doesn't even understand that actually I am being taken to Sharanagati. So start with some asana pranayam, then he will have good health. Then only he will do all that. That is why there is description of so many sakama yajnas in Shastra. Then later the real yajna will be explained, that is offering of your own ahankara, taking shelter of Bhagavan. So this is the real meaning,
अपनी वैमुख्यता को छोड़कर सामुख्य
that you give up your
कैसे आएंगे.
Vaimukhyata and come to Samukhyata.
ऐसे योग का भी
This is the real ultimate, this is the culmination of yajna. So yoga also means that,
लेकिन वो
connecting with Bhagavan. But human being will not listen to all that. First of all, don't even talk about Bhagavan. Don't,
ईश्वर पे बात भी करनी है तो ईश्वर
don't talk about God.
उसको भी एक विकल्प बना दिया योग में.
In yoga, Ishwar is also made a vikalpa, an option. In the first chapter, Ishwar is just a vikalpa, an option, that you can do dhyana of this or that, or as an option on Ishwar also. But if you go to second chapter, then Ishwar pranidhan is compulsory there.
ईश्वर परिनिधान क्रिया योग और अष्टांग योग दोनों में ईश्वर परिनिधान जो
In
है
Kriya Yoga, in Ashtanga Yoga, Ishwar pranidhan is a compulsory anga.
धीरे धीरे ला रहे हैं पतंजलि जी.
So Patanjali is also slowly bringing human being to that level. Similarly, here also Bhagavan speaks of yajna, that you know that you will not fold your hands before Bhagavan. So first you do yajna to Agni.
तो अनेक प्रकार के यज्ञ ले आएंगे.
Then as Bhagavad Gita progresses, Bhagavan will start speaking of different yajnas.
ज्ञान में समाप्त होगा. फिर वो कहेंगे इसको जानने के लिए तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन
Then he will say
सेवते ज्ञानम ज्ञानिनस् तत्त्वदर्शिने. गुरु के पास जाके
that you have to understand this, you have to go to Guru. So there he brings you to Pranipat, surrender.
बेचारे बहुत मेहनत करते हैं.
So Bhagavan is working very hard in Bhagavad Gita to do benefit to human being, but human being is so cunning, so intelligent that he tries to find some escape route,
की बात को नहीं मानना.
how to not listen to Bhagavan.
ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण श्लोक
So this is very important verse, and
इसको समझना आवश्यक है.
understanding this verse is extremely important.
जैसे मैंने कहा कि बहुत ही
As I said, Bhagavad Gita gives a very practical knowledge.
कला हमको सिखाती है.
It teaches us how to live in the society, in the family,
इसमें कोई पैसा वैसा खर्च होने वाला
and you don't have to spend anything for this.
कुछ टैक्स देना
No need to become afraid
या आपको कुछ हानि हो जाएगी. केवल यज्ञार्थ
that there will be some loss for you.
यज्ञ करते थे, आज यज्ञ करने की प्रथा समाप्त हो गई है, तो इसलिए आप
Earlier people used to do yajna.
में कहते हैं ना अनेक
Now the yajna system has stopped.
विद्यार्थी पढ़ता है वो भी यज्ञ है.
So Bhagavan is explaining many yajnas in Gita. For a student studying is yajna. In Upanishad it is said that even procreating is also yajna.
ये वृष्टि होती है, ये भी एक यज्ञ है.
Procreation is also yajna. Everything is being explained as yajna in the Upanishads,
कि हम इस
so
जीवन
that
के
in this life
को समझ
we understand the essence
जीवन भी एक प्रकार का यज्ञ
that our life is ultimately a yajna.
है. हमारी दृष्टि जो संसार का मूल केंद्र है भगवान है उनकी तरफ
And we can turn our vision to the center of this world, that is Bhagavan. Only then there can be peace, happiness, prosperity in the society. So we will stop here for today. If you have any question, you can ask.
धन्यवाद बाबा जी, बहुत अच्छा है. ये जो आपने अहंकार की आहुति बोला था,
Question, you explained about this offering of ahankara.
छोटी बुद्धि से समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ इसको स्पष्ट.
So like what I'm trying to understand, I request you to explain that.
प्रकृति, ये जो हमारा शरीर है, तो इसकी एक तो ये है कि मैं ये शरीर नहीं हूँ, इस प्रकार की आहुति है, या एक तो ये आहुति.
ये आपका जो कर्तव्य है ना, आप जो भी कर रहे
What is
हैं
the offering of our ahankara? So answer, the offering is the sense of doership. We understand ourselves as doer, and then we want to enjoy the fruit of the karma.
उसको समझना कि मैं
So we have to understand that me, my body, my ahankara, my mind, my intelligence, they all belong to the prakriti of Bhagavan. So they are meant for him only.
उनसे स्वतंत्र ना
So I should not consider myself independent from him.
हाँ, मैं इसको
This is offering.
समझना अपनी बुद्धि से ऐसे समझने की कोशिश कर रहा था कि पंचभूत से लेकर के अहंकार तक सब तो प्रकृति ही है.
लेकिन आप तो उसको अपना आप समझे हुए हो, नहीं समझे हुए?
So you are considering this ahankara panchabhut to be
समझते हो
yours.
प्रकृति है. आप
Do you
समझते हैं
feel like that this is prakriti? You think that I am myself this body.
कि ये प्रकृति
So you have to understand this body belongs to nature, the material nature. It is Bhagavan's material nature.
हम कहते हैं ना मेरी
It's not myself.
प्रकृति जब उनकी है तो फिर उन्हीं के लिए
So when it belongs to him, then it should be engaged in his service only.
आप ऑफिस में जा
Any object that belongs to some person, like if you go to office and they give you a computer,
कंप्यूटर आपको अपने काम
so the computer is being given for the service of the company, not for your personal work.
तो आप उनके लिए काम के लिए करोगे तो तब तो
So if it is being given to you, you have to do it for him only.
कंप्यूटर को लेके आप घर आ
But if you take that computer, bring it home,
आपको नौकरी से निकाल देंगे.
and then use it for your purpose, then you may be laid off.
क्लर्क काम
If you are, if some clerk is working in a bank, then he is dealing with so much money,
का है कि बैंक
but that money belongs not to him, but to the bank.
लेकिन उसकी बिल्कुल सुरक्षा रखता है वो, ऐसा तो नहीं कि
But he protects that money. It's not that he gives to anybody, that anyway it is of bank,
रखता है.
give it to anybody.
तो उसका पूरा हिसाब दे के आता है.
So he keeps the complete accounts of that money. Now if he starts thinking that this is my money, so similarly this body, it belongs to the material nature. a part of material nature. We all understand this, and at the end, it will
प्रकृति भगवान
get into the material nature only. And this material nature belongs to Bhagavan.
मत्त सर्वं प्रवर्तते भूमिरापो अनलो वायु खम्मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इतीयम में भिन्ना प्रकृति रसपदा अहंकार को भी बता रहे हैं ना प्रकृति तो जब ये
So
उल्टी
Bhagavan
है
is
तो
telling that this ahankara is also Prakriti. So then ahankara should be engaged in seva of Bhagavan. So you should understand that I belong to Bhagavan.
तंत्र समझता हूँ और भगवान
Now I consider myself independent. Who is Bhagavan?
कहते हैं अगर भगवान कहीं मिल जाए तो मैं तो उसको गोली मार दूंगा
Some people say that if I see Bhagavan, I will shoot him. What is Bhagavan? People speak like this.
साथ में ये वाली जो सूक्ष्म बात आती है कि जीवेरे स्वरूप है नित्य कृष्ण दास, अगर हम आत्मा के लेवल पे आ गया ये है ना,
तो स्वरूप की बात कर रहे हैं
यूट्यूब से एक प्रश्न है कि क्या एक व्यक्ति जो
Question.
गृहस्थ आश्रम में है,
A person who is in Grihastha ashram
परिवार का एक ऐसा सदस्य है जो
and such a member of the family who is earning money
निषिद्ध भोजन उपलब्ध करा रहा है, तो क्या वह
and he is giving forbidden food to the members of the family, then who will get the karma? So the one who is supplying that food, he will also get karma. One who is consuming that will also incur karma.
ब्रह्मचर्य
Next question, is brahmacharya important? Answer,
गृहस्थ के लिए तो ब्रह्मचर्य की व्याख्या अलग है कि अगर अपनी
so
पत्नी के
brahmacharya is
साथ
important for sannyas, but for a grihastha its meaning is different. If he is engaging only with wife, then that is also brahmacharya. But if he is engaging with some
ब्रह्मचर्य
other woman other than his wife, then he is breaking brahmacharya.
प्रश्न है राधे राधे बाबा जी महाराज, बाबा जी
Next
कोई भी
question.
व्यक्ति कोई कार्य किसी मोटिवेशन से करता है,
Any person he performs action with some motivation. If we are doing bhakti also, but I don't know about others, but my bhava is that I should get darshan of Bhagavan in this Janmashtami itself. So without motivation, how can somebody perform some action with determination to achieve goal? So answer,
कारण यही है इसके
the purpose of achieving goal, what you are saying that I should get darshan of Bhagavan,
स्वतंत्र समझ रहे हैं
because you are considering yourself independent from Bhagavan and you are thinking that when I will get darshan of Bhagavan, I will get this benefit. There you have this bhava inside you that I will get this benefit. People will praise me or whatever. Even if you don't see it in manifest way, but in unmanifest way, these feelings are there inside.
भगवान से स्वतंत्र
But when you understand that I am not independent from Bhagavan, I am Angsha of Bhagavan and my life is for him only, then I just act for him.
भगवान का दर्शन भी चाहते हैं तो इसमें भी आपका
So
अपना
if
ही
you
स्वतंत्र
desire for getting darshan of Bhagavan also, this in this it is your own selfishness only. You get darshan of Bhagavan. What did Bhagavan achieve by that?
आप तो अपने लिए
Is there any benefit to Bhagavan? No, you are doing all that for your own benefit. Like you desire liberation.
नहीं है
So we in bhakti we have heard so many times that bhakti is better than moksha, and desiring moksha is also a selfishness. So we don't do that. But that same desire we bring in another way in bhakti.
मेरे को याद है बहुत साल पहले
Many years back,
30
I remember around 25-30 years back, there was a guru.
का एक जन्मदिन था वो
So it was his birthday and he came to my room.
जन्म था तो कह रहे थे प्लीज ब्लेस मी दैट आई डोंट हैव टू टेक बर्थ अगेन
So he requested me, please bless me so that I don't have to take birth again.
वैष्णव गुरु बोल रहा है
Now a Vaishnava guru is speaking like this.
उनमें भक्ति की भावना कहाँ आई
Then where is the desire for bhakti in him? Because he is speaking about moksha. But if you say to him, but he is that same person will also say that our goal is not moksha. So that same desire for moksha comes in different way in bhakti.
काम करना इन्होंने कहा है कहीं
So as it was explained here that you should work for yajna.
काम करना है आपको मोक्ष के लिए
Is it explained in this verse that you should work for moksha, darshan and all that? No. Those things will happen automatically.
मुक्त संग होंगे तो आपका मोक्ष पक्का है वो मुक्त संग में
Your moksha will moksha is already included in that.
मतलब है कि आप यहाँ ठीक से काम करेंगे
Samachara means if you are working here with proper understanding of yajna.
सधर्म ठीक है ना कि जिससे आपका अभ्युदय भी हो और निश्रेयस भी हो यानी कि भौतिक उन्नति भी हो और आपको मोक्ष की भी प्राप्ति हो, वो धर्म है। ऐसी
So
व्याख्या
dharma
उनकी
is what gives you material progress and liberation also. So for Mukta Sangha and Samachara, Bhagavan is telling of both. Mukta Sangha is moksha and Samachara is abhyudaya. When it will happen? When you work for yajna. You are not working for moksha or for material progress. You are working for yogya, for yajna, but material progress and liberation will come up automatically. But people don't understand this. So like this, there are many people, they ask me that in this life I want to go to Goloka, I want this in this life itself, I want to obtain this Swarupa and that. But these are your personal selfish desires. Where is Bhagavan in all this? So if you do this, Bhagavan will give you. Then don't think that this is Preeti for Bhagavan. That's why what did Jiva Goswami say? What is our prayojan? Preeti. Prema Pumartha Mahan. And Preeti means Anukulyan Anushilan. So this is the difference between Vaimukhya and Samukhya. Why does Jiva Goswami say that Mukti is not our prayojan? This is not our Purushartha. Because actually in that is just negation of Vaimukhyata, although not real Samukhyata.
जैसे दुखा भाव को लोग सुख मान लेते हैं,
Like people consider Dukha Bhava as Sukha, it is like that.
वास्तविक सामुख्यता तो
Real Samukhyata is in Preeti only.
इसलिए भगवान कहते हैं मन मना.
That's why Bhagavan says Man Mana Bhava Mad Bhakto.
गुस्तावो जी का प्रश्न है,
Next
एक
question.
मन जो गलत कार्य
What can be done about a mind that keeps reinforcing a bad action?
इसको पूछिए कि क्यों प्रेरित हो रहा है, इसके पीछे क्या कारण है, इसका परिणाम क्या होगा.
So you have to deliberate what will be its result by doing all this bad action. Everywhere you do when you do everything for good result, when mind, why are you not thinking like that here? Why do people perform bad action? They know that this action is bad,
लेकिन उससे कुछ तात्कालिक फल मिलता है,
but it will give some temporary benefit to them, immediate benefit.
उसके कारण करता है. वो सोचता है कि इससे मेरे को
For
तुरंत
that reason he does such action. So he thinks that I will get some benefit out of this. For this reason human being steals also. So Freud said that if you suppress your desires, it will arise again in some perverted manner and it will distort your personality, your psychology. You will have psychological problem. That's why he said that do not suppress your desires.
उनको रिप्रेस मत करो, दमन मत करो. लेकिन दमन नहीं करेंगे तो उससे दूसरी समस्या खड़ी होगी. तो जब आप
So if we do not suppress, then again there will be some other problem. Let's say you have a wrong desire and Freud says that do not suppress it.
तो आप दूसरी इच्छा का तो दमन कर रहे नहीं कर रहे.
But anyway you are suppressing some other desire.
ये गलत है.
You know that it is wrong.
दूसरा कार्य करना ठीक है.
Meaning doing the other activity is right. So you are suppressing that or no? So then Freud did not consider this point.
जो भी व्यक्ति गलत कार्य करता है और वो जानता है गलत है.
Any person who is doing something wrong,
दूसरी इच्छा का दमन कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है.
he is suppressing the other desire or no?
ठीक काम करना चाहिए, अरे मैं गलत काम कर रहा हूँ.
That I should do the right activity and this is what I'm doing is wrong. So the human being who is intentionally doing wrong activity, he is also suppressing the other desire. So when you anyway have to suppress the desire, why don't you suppress the wrong desire? Why are you suppressing the right desire? Because anyway at the end it will lead to wrong result for you. That's why Shastra is teaching this. Actually you don't have to suppress also. Why do you suppress the right desires? When you understand that by doing the wrong action, it will lead to wrong result. Everybody knows that stealing is wrong, lying is wrong, troubling others is wrong. Everybody knows. There is no Shastra Upadesh required for this. But still people knowingly do wrong actions. So there will be bondage or no?
अगर हम अपने आप को नियंत्रण में रखते हैं कि नहीं, ये अपनी बुद्धि से उसको
So
समझना
if we
होगा,
know this,
तो जब हम गलत
we have to understand this by our intelligence. When we are doing some wrong action, we are disobeying our intelligence.
निर्बल हो जाती है,
Then our intelligence becomes weak.
और जब बुद्धि निर्बल हो जाती है तो हम अपनी मन
And when intelligence becomes weak, we come under the control of our mind and senses. Then we cannot stop ourselves.
की आदत पड़ गई है, इसका मतलब उन्होंने
So those
बुद्धि का आदर नहीं किया,
who have become used to doing wrong action, they never respected their intelligence. Now their intelligence has become so weak that their mind has become their boss. And in Gita, Bhagavan says that mind is your friend also and enemy also.
के नियंत्रण में है तो मन आप,
When you are under the control of mind,
तो मन आपका मित्र,
then mind is your enemy. When you are controlling the mind, then mind is your friend.
अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तते आत्मा एव शत्रुवत्। जो अनात्मा, जिसकी मन जिसके नियंत्रण में नहीं है, वही मन उसका सबसे बड़ा शत्रु है। शत्रु
When mind is not under control, that itself is the biggest enemy. There is no enemy outside. The biggest enemy is inside.
शत्रु बाहर है, वो तो दिखाई पड़ेगा आपको कि
The enemy which is outside is not the real enemy. Real enemy is the one he is in your home only, disguised as your friend.
तो उसने तो आपकी बिल्कुल राजधानी के ऊपर कंट्रोल कर लिया।
So then that mind is controlling your own life, your center only.
मनुष्य की है,
This is the situation of human being.
आदर करना चाहिए।
So we should learn to respect our intelligence.
नहीं करेंगे
When you start disrespecting your intelligence, you will suffer. This is guarantee.
दूसरे अध्याय में कहा बुद्धिया युक्त है,
That's why in second chapter Bhagavan said
कि जब आप अपनी बुद्धि से युक्त होकर काम करेंगे तो आप
that when you work with intelligence,
अगर हम अपनी
then you will be able to cross the bondage of karma. But when we don't stop respecting our intelligence, then whose intelligence will respect?
बुद्धि में हूँ,
Bhagavan says that I am buddhi. That means when you are disrespecting your intelligence, you are disrespecting Bhagavan also,
और अपने
and you will have to suffer,
आप स्वयं करते ही हैं।
and you can experience this in your own life.
तो इसलिए आवश्यक है।
So this is important to respect intelligence.
यूट्यूब से एक प्रश्न है, यद्यपि
Next
बच्चे
question.
भक्ति साधन के बारे में जन्म से ही जान रहे हैं,
Although children are learning about the bhakti sadhan from childhood, how can we guide them when after studies they are trying to get job, their sadhana is not very strong? How to make their sadhana strong? So answer, after studying, society is such that you have to go for a job. So you should search for a job which is according to your swabhava. This is very important.
क्योंकि भगवान आगे भी इसी अध्याय में कहेंगे कि प्रकृति के अनुसार मनुष्य चलता है, प्रकृति में यान्ति भूतानि।
Bhagavan says that human being works according to his nature.
ज्ञानवान अपि, तो इसलिए उनका जो स्वभाव है,
So whatever is his swabhava, according to that only you should get the education, and according to that only you should work.
का मन जो है वो बैलेंस रहेगा।
Then the mind will remain balanced.
वो आपका स्वभाव टेस्ट करने के लिए
We have made a swabhava test. You can
आपको सहायता
take that test on the Vedic psychology website,
अगर आपको नौकरी मिलती है स्वभाव के अनुसार,
and then according to that, if you are getting the job, then it will be good for you.
वो साधना में लगेगा, साधना के लिए
Then
सहयोग
your
मिलेगा आपको।
mind will
आप ऐसे
do
नौकरी करते
engage in sadhana,
स्वभाव के विरुद्ध है तो आप मन
and if you do a job which is against your swabhava, then your mind will be disturbed.
प्रश्न है, बाबा जी महाराज, क्या ऐसा बोलना सही
Next
होगा
question.
कि भक्ति
Is it right to say that yajna is the real swarup of bhakti?
बोलना सही होगा कि यज्ञ का असली स्वरूप भक्ति है।
No, actually it is right to say that the real swarup of yajna is bhakti.
लोग लगाते हैं, लेकिन जिसका असली
As I said, people give different meanings of yajna, but the real meaning of yajna ultimately is bhakti.
ठीक है, ठीक है। प्रार्थना श्लोक। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपाल नंदनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मंत्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यत् श्रेयः स्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् यत्र योगेश्वरो कृष्ण यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीविजयोर्भूतिर् ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजंघ्रये। भवे भवे यथा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नाथस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो। नाम संकीर्तनं यस्य सर्वपाप प्रणाशनं प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम्। हरि ओम तत्सत्।